J.J. Watt yesterday went on a rant during his press conference, a diatribe, if you will, about everything that it is about being an NFL player, basically. Because I assume the question was, and this wasn't in the video, was, hey, you're out. You guys don't have a coach. Going into week 17, what is your mindset? Or basically, I think the question was leading to make JJ maybe take the week off or maybe not try as hard because the season's over. And JJ went on this entire rant about why being in the NFL is so important and acting as if you're an NFL player is so important. It was amazing. Can we run that thing, Foxy?
If you can't come in and put work in the building, go out to the practice field and work hard, do your lifts and do what you're supposed to do, you should not be here. This is a job. We are getting paid a whole lot of money. There are a lot of people that watch us and invest their time and their money into buying our jerseys and buying a whole bunch of and they care about it. They care every single week. We're in week 16 and we're 4-11, and there's fans that watch this game, that show up to the stadium, that put in time and energy and effort and care about this. So if you can't go out there and you can't work out, you can't show up on time, you can't practice, you can't want to go out there and win, you shouldn't be here, because this is a privilege. It's the greatest job in the world. You get to go out and play a game. And if you can't care enough, even in week 17, even when you're trash, when you're 4-11, if you can't care enough to go out there and give everything you've got and try your hardest, that's bullshit. So that's how I think there are people every week that still tweet you, that still come up to you and say, hey, we're still rooting for you. We're still behind you. They have no reason whatsoever to. We stink. But they care, and they still want to win, and they still want you to be great. That's why. Those people aren't getting paid. We're getting paid handsomely. That's why. And that's who I feel the most bad for, is our fans. And the people who care so deeply in the city, and the people who love it and who truly want it to be great, and it's not. And that sucks as a player, to know that we're not giving them what they deserve.
Walk off. Whoa. Hey, he did a fucking walk off after that. To be honest, not a bad play, because I have no idea what the next question or answer could have been that could have topped that. But that's basically what Jason Kelce was saying a couple weeks ago about building a culture of winning. And it goes back to the conversation about Dwayne Haskins and about a lot of the guys that, and now granted, we don't know what's happening behind the scenes. We can only assume what's happening behind the scenes. But it goes back to what I was talking about with guys who get on the team for OTAs, or they're a camp body or whatever. And the first thing they do is go to Twitter or Instagram, and they're like, Indianapolis Colts, blah, blah, blah. And everybody wants to be an NFL player until it comes time to do what NFL players have to do. And I'm not saying that it is a hard job by any means. My dad was a truck driver, woke up like 5 a.m., 4 a.m. every goddamn day, didn't come back till late at night. I mean, Nick's dad is literally a concrete layer. The guy's out in the middle of the mud. Like, I understand that there are much harder jobs and everything like that. But to be in the NFL is much different than to get to the NFL. And I think that is what J.J. Watt was referring to. I don't know if he was taking a shot at his teammates. I don't know if he was taking a shot at something or thoughts that are happening outside the building. But I do know that what J.J. Watt basically laid out there is the mindset that every fan would hope that every single player of theirs would have on the team. I don't think it's a majority of people don't have that. I think a majority of players do have that. But every once in a while, you get a player that doesn't appreciate his position, acts out of way. By the way, I got arrested during a bye week, so I was potentially a distraction at one point who didn't fully understand what it took to be great in the NFL until after that, and then I did. But it is one of those things where the commitment to being in the NFL is much harder than people think it is. And J.J. Watt's a guy who allegedly goes to bed at 9 p.m., wakes up at 4 a.m. and everything like that, and he's at the top of the world. But the fact of the fans thinking that teams should go out and tank and players should lose and stuff like that, like, that's not a reality, okay? Because you're putting things on film. Either you care about the team winning or you care about money. Whatever the case is, usually people are going to go as hard as they can, and those that can't kind of get weeded out. But setting a culture is a big deal, and I think that's what J.J. Watt was referring to there.
And like Mekhi Becton said the other day, like, if you don't want us to win and you want us to lose, you're not real fans. I mean, these guys, like he said, people care so much about these teams.
And by the way, that's a good thing about the NFL.
Yeah.
Is that fans are that invested. Houston Texans fans are awesome, by the way. Playing down in Houston was incredible. This comes after J.J. Watt allegedly told Billy O some things in practice. I mean, that was neither here. So I think J.J. Watt, if you go to a Houston Texans game, his name is everywhere. It's in the program, like every other page he has a sponsor. When something good happens, turn down for Watt's up there. His face is synonymous, not just with the Texans, but with the entire city of Houston. I would assume he wants to see that get turned around. He said, I ain't in for rebuilding, okay? We had a rebuilding year, but we basically had the mindset that it was a reloading year. Maybe that's what the Houston Texans will do next year. But I would assume that J.J. Watt's going to have a good game this upcoming year.
Oh, yeah.
I would assume J.J. is going to have a good game, and I'm excited to watch it. I think FanDuel will have a bet on J.J. Watt just to get a sack. Let's go. I think that's not normal. They'll have that. That feels like one of my favorite bets of the year, actually, that speech. But goddamn, there's a lot of teams around the NFL, and I saw this on Twitter, that are basically saying, hey, get JJ to Green Bay. Hey, get JJ to Pittsburgh. Hey, get JJ to Indianapolis. That speech that he went on there. And now, granted, is this something that JJ Watt had potentially had on his mind for a bit and was waiting for a chance to maybe say, maybe? But boy, it made you want to say, I would like that guy on my team. Mm-hmm. And JJ Watt's a guy that we'd like on our team.
Absolutely.
JJ Swat, turned down for what, dude? I hosted a Houston Texans luncheon this year.
Oh, yeah?
Alongside J.J. Watt.
Ooh.
This was after he did the ultimate tag and got married and everything like that. Good conversation. He's a funny guy. He's calling from his office. Very sophisticated. He had mahogany behind him.
Oh, yeah. Is that the one with the trophies behind him?
Yeah, there was some. And then you see his TV on Instagram. He's got the lights around it. That actually led to my lady in my little cave area to put the lights around the TV because of how, sophisticated it looks.
Cool it is.
Shout out to J.J. Watt for that. He has a log cabin in the woods in Wisconsin. Oh. It's like 17,000 square feet or something. It's a log cabin, though. And then T.J. Watt had the best day of his life yesterday, and J.J. Watt had that. Ugh. That's the Watt family, though. Hey, going to be on top of the world. Hope J.J. gets to a contender soon or makes Houston a contender again.
Yeah.